The dress depicted in this portrait is a magnificent example of early 19th century royal and court fashion, likely dating to the 1810s or 1820s, a period marked by the transition from the neoclassical simplicity of the empire style to a slightly more structured and embellished silhouette. The woman, clearly of high rank, possibly a queen or empress, is presented in full regalia, and her gown is an integral part of this declaration of power and majesty. The main body of the dress is rendered in a lustrous white or very pale cream silk, a color traditionally associated with purity, elegance, and high status, and one that beautifully reflects the light. The fabric appears to be a rich satin or heavy silk taffeta, offering a smooth, flowing drape characteristic of the period, yet possessing enough structure to support the ornamentation. The silhouette itself retains the high waistline typical of the Regency or Empire style, positioned just beneath the bust. This elevates the figure and allows the skirt to fall in relatively straight, columnar lines, though with a degree of fullness necessary for court wear. A distinctive feature is the treatment of the sleeves. They are short, dramatically puffed and gathered at the shoulder, possibly with an internal structure to maintain their voluminous, rounded shape, a style known as manche gigot in its early, less exaggerated form. This provides a striking contrast to the long, fitted gloves or the elaborate bracelets she wears. The high waistline is cinched with a broad, contrasting sash or band of fabric, likely gold or deep yellow, adding a subtle touch of color and emphasizing the elevated line of the gown. The lower part of the skirt is the focal point of the gown's ornamentation. It features an extensive, intricate border of embroidery or applied needlework, executed in rich, warm tones of gold, russet, and perhaps dark red. The motifs appear to be stylized representations of foliage, perhaps laurels or palm branches, interspersed with floral or geometric elements. This type of deep, horizontal border detailing, often heavy with metallic threads, was a common technique for adding splendor and visual weight to formal dresses during this era, drawing the eye down the length of the fabric. The design is bold, covering a substantial portion of the hemline, and its color palette harmonizes with the gold accents on the sash and the deep red and gold of the surrounding drapery and furnishings. Over the dress, the figure is draped in a grand floor-length mantle or robe decor. This is not merely an accessory, but a required component of state dress. It is a sumptuous garment made of deep red velvet or similar heavy fabric, contrasting richly with the white gown. The interior of the mantle is lined with ermine, or white fur with black tails, the traditional symbol of sovereignty and purity, indicating her supreme royal or imperial status. The mantle is gathered and held in place over her shoulders, draping dramatically over the back and pulling at the floor in a regal cascade that mirrors the heavy court drapery behind her. The train, where visible, appears to be attached to the bodice or shoulders and forms a wide sweep, emphasizing the grandeur of her posture and setting. The combination of the white dress, the gold embroidery, the red velvet, and the ermine creates a powerful and symbolic color triad of white, purity, gold, wealth, and red, power. Further contributing to the richness of the ensemble are the details of the accessories. A delicate, transparent overlay or shawl is worn around the shoulders, possibly a fine lace or sheer silk, adding a layer of texture and softness beneath the heavy mantle. Her neck is adorned with multi-strand pearl and jewel necklaces, and her arms with elaborate bracelets, likely gold and precious stones, matching the magnificent diamond and pearl tiara or crown upon her head. The jewelry, like the embroidery, is a display of dynastic wealth and power. The dress style, with its high waist, short puff sleeves, and relatively straight skirt heavily embroidered at the hem, is a transitional one, moving away from the more severe classical lines of the Directory Empire period and anticipating the heavier ornamentation and increasing sleeve volume that would characterize the Romantic era of the late 1820s and 1830s. It strikes a balance between classical elegance and the desire for conspicuous luxury. It is a dress designed not for comfort or mobility, but as a carefully constructed semi-architectural garment whose primary function is to embody and convey the wearer's elevated social and political standing. The artist has meticulously captured the sheen of the silk, the texture of the ermine, and the density of the embroidery, and the overall effect is one of unparalleled regal splendor, making the gown not just clothing, but a statement of monarchical identity. The fabric choice, the color, and the heavy ornamentation all reinforce the theme of a ruler dressed for an occasion of ultimate significance, perhaps a coronation, a state opening of parliament, or an official audience. Every element of the dress, from the small cuff details on the sleeves to the sweeping train, is calculated to contribute to a visual narrative